Have a table, and it's going to have which one was in what, right? So like, and I think for you guys it's like BAM HI and Hindi 3 and all that. So you know, it's going to have these, right? Every band is going to have its own little thing, right? Etc., etc. But the important thing is that you're going to have a column that says what the size of these fragments were, right? Okay, so the sizes of these fragments correspond to how many base pairs the restriction enzymes cut out, okay? So if you have a restriction site here for Hindi 3, and you have a restriction site here for, we'll say, XBAL 1, right? Then when you digest these two together, you should have a band that corresponds to this one, which on here is 3 kilobases, right? And then you're going to have a band which corresponds to this section, and that one is 5 kilobase pairs, okay? So come over here. Which one is the 5 kilobase pair band?
5 kilobase pair.
The top one. Why is it the top one? What he said.
Because it's heavier.
Because it has more base pairs, so it has a higher molecular weight, so it travels slower.
What we see.
What?
I said what we see.
You said it too? Okay, sorry. He's closer, so I couldn't. Anyway. So then, all right, so now we have our hypothetical plasmid map here, okay? So now we do another one. Here we go. PU, right? We once again have Hindi 3 and ND 1, okay? And it's always a good idea to sort of pick one, and that's usually going to be the one you digest by itself, and sort of set that either here or here, but that's the one you're comparing to, yes?
Sorry, is that bottom table right there? What's that new part that we have, like, 1, 2?
These are the bands.
The band.
So here, let's just go ahead and reassign Hindi right here, okay? And then for the cutting of ND1, it generated a fragment at 2 kilobase pairs, okay?
We're going
so we'll
over
say
this
that's
right
like
now.
right here, all
We're
right?
going over this right now. Okay. We're going to do this on a final.
You say it cut.
What?
Okay, that's
Okay, you guys with me so far? Right?
So each lane is going to have a certain.
What?
Each lane is going to have its own map.
Well, each lane is going to have its own restriction bands, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you will generate a hypothetical plasmid map from those.
So each band going to have its own map.
Yes.
Thank you.
But now there's going to be a problem, right? What?
Sorry, I thought last time you said each band in each lane will be on the map. So that means I thought we have one big map with every band on it.
That's going to be the final thing to do.
That's the final thing.
And I'm showing you how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to erase this stuff here, okay?
Wait, don't erase something. I'm sorry. You said in that table, like it has one, so you're gonna have 2 bands.
The table is going to be in the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay. And I went over this on Tuesday.
I know, but I should make sure.
Okay, so now we have one more GU. This time we did a digest with XBA 1 and we did a digest with Indy 1, right? So now our Hindi is not in this one. So for simplicity, we're going to once again just randomly pick one of these restriction digest sites as a spot for comparison, okay? So let's say right here, XBA 1, right? And then right here is Indy 1. Why am I drawing them so close together?
That's 1 kilobase.
This is 1 kilobase pair. Okay?
You say you just so close together because it's what?
Oh, how do you know that it's 1 kilobase pair?
Because you will measure the distance. Who said that?
I did.
Okay. Because you'll measure the distance traveled and then compare it to your standard curve.
Okay. Okay.
Standard curve. All right.
There's 1 kilobase pair between the two.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So, we now know, what do we know now?
You know what all the restriction is.
Between Vine 3 and
We know the distances between them,
Yeah.
right? So let's try combining them and making one big one, okay? So I'm going to draw that one here.
It's like a puzzle.
Once again, since Hindi 3 is the one that is in common, we're going to assume that it's at the top, okay?
8 kilobase.
So we're just going to randomly assign Hindi to the top, all right? Now then, let's say we travel along in this direction and then we reach Indy 1, right? Which was 2 kilobase pairs. We also know that XBA 1 is 3 kilobase pairs away from Hindi 3, right? So let's draw over here XBA 1, and that's 3 kilobase pairs.
Now, Joe, you went to the left.
Yeah,
Could you possibly go on the right?
Why do you think we should go to the right?
Well, I'm just.
Why do you think we should go to the right?
Well, is it a comparison between the X bar and another one?
Yes, and what did that comparison tell us?
Where is the X bar?
You can't go to the right.
XBA 1
2
and Indy
kilobase
1 are
pairs.
1 kilobase pair apart,
Okay.
right? However, the total size of our guy, right, we would have to determine by looking at the single band here for the single restriction site, okay? We would determine that this is an 8 kilobase pair band. Therefore, what does that tell us about the plasmid?
It's 8 kilobase pairs.
The total size of the plasmid is 8 kilobase pairs long. If we have a 3 kilobase pair fragment and a 2 kilobase pair fragment, right, how much plasmid is left over? This distance is not 3. How do we know that?
X bar and EOI is 1.
Their distance between XBA and Indy is only 1 kilobase
So we
pair.
should have gone to the right.
So it has to be on the other side.
So you're just testing.
Okay, does everything work out now? So we have 3 kilobase pairs between XBA and Hindi. We have 2 kilobase pairs between Hindi 2 and Indy 1, right? And then we have 1 kilobase pair between Indy 1 and XBA 1, right? I think that's it. Oh, right, that's the other thing. The distance between Hindi 3 and XBA 1 on this one was 5, right? The other fragment size was 5. So we add 2, right? with 1.
It's 3 minus it, 5. Yep.
Does that make sense? Which part? The whole part? Okay, so first you make a standard curve. Which part?
The part where you were talking about 5 and you added 2 I need to say that. I didn't hear.
Oh, okay. So the total plasma is 8, right? Based on this map, the distance from Hindi 2 to Indy 1, 2, which we established here, right? The distance from Hindi 2 to X ball 1 is 3, which we established here, and the distance from Indy 1 to X ball 1 is 1, which we established here, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this total is 3 kilobases, right? The total between X ball 1 and Hindi 3, according to this map, was 5. So that's not the fragment, that's the rest of the plasma was 5, right? So if this distance is 5, 5 plus 2 plus 1 is the total length of the plasmid. Now then, for your actual plasmids, these numbers may not add up perfectly, okay? So like, you might determine that the size of your plasmid is like 6.5. However, when you finish constructing your map and add everything up, it might come out to 6.8 or 6.1, okay? But that's okay, all right? It's not going to be perfect because there's going to be a little bit of error involved since we're doing a gel and all that stuff, all right? I know that this is going to be a difficult analysis for some of you because your gels did not come out so great, but just do the best job that you can, and maybe when you start analyzing the data, you'll realize it's not as bad as you thought, okay? But so this is what you will turn in, okay? This is what will be in your report, not your hypotheticals, but the actual final product, okay? In your discussion section, I want you to include talking about doing these, all right? Or let me rephrase that. In your discussion section, I want you to talk about how you got here, okay? So you would need to have a discussion saying, well, the distance between this guy and this guy is this, and the distance between this guy and this guy is this, and da-da-da-da, profit.
Draw that?
Yes, you will draw this.
Okay, on a report.
This will be in your report, yes. Draw.
So we
not
can.
by your hand, no.
Oh man.
You
But
certainly may not draw it by hand.
if we drew it by hand and took a picture of it and put it up there, could you be okay? No. Oh man. How do you do that? I'm not
You're
very.
asking me how to draw a circle on the computer?
I'm not very tech savvy. But then all the dashes and labels. Yeah.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I've never done that before.
I've never done that before.
Who taught you that?
On the back, yeah.
Myself?
Did I do that? Oh, I didn't do that.
Myself
Okay.
and I.
Like, oh, how do you do the back forecasting?
That was different. That was
You
the
guys don't know
difference
how to do
between two versions of Excel, right?
No.
And in the end,
I don't know how to do it. It's not the circle. It's the ticks. It's all the ticks and stuff.
this isn't baby. This is like
See, what is that? What is paint?
You put a circle, draw a line, and put a box.
Okay.
okay. Check it out. Look, you come here to shapes. The most basic shapes.
Alright, a circle.
Click the circle.
Okay.
Right click in the circle and do format shapes. We want it to be no fill. You can also change the line to be larger or smaller or change the color, right? Gradient line, so it like changes color as it goes around, stuff like that. You can do all sorts of crazy SHIT with it, okay? See, look at that. I did the nice looking gradient, so now it like disappears. It's like a waxing moon,
Ooh.
right? Okay. For ticks, come here to line.
Oh, okay.
In this case, you're probably going to make your line a little bit that fatter so it shows up, right? And then here's two options you have. One, you can draw a second line. Or two, you can click the line, do copy, paste. You now have another line. You drag the line over here. and you can do all sorts of crazy, funky, kinky stuff with it.
Ooh.
Right. Oh, I do have a compass, so if this is not at exactly a 45-degree angle, it will not matter.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Wow.
Put that there. Right?
Fanciful. Fanciful.
I said if this is not exactly perpendicular to the circle,
Yeah.
You're not gonna give us credit?
you will fail the entire course.
Wait. Oh, yes.
So how would we write something at the end? Insert text box or something like
Okay,
that?
do we see how I did that? What?
Then how do we put the label on it? Text box?
Yeah, text box. Text box here.
Insert text box. Okay. Oh, that was more simple. Mine doesn't do it that easily. I had a really hard time with that text box.
All right. Hey, listen. I know that you can't physically go here and measure these distances, so it does not have to be to scale, okay? Like, I'm not going to come in here and be like, oh, you know what? I'm afraid that's actually 6.2 kilobase pairs that you drew there, okay? So I just am more concerned with the placement of these guys, all right? So
Okay.
then you need to make sure that you label this as PU. Actually, but I think yours is called something else, right?
What's it called?
P amp? Isn't that what yours is called?
Pamp.
So something like P amp, and then the total base pair size, so like, whatever, 10 kilobase pairs or whatever it is. Okay?
Do me a favor. Try to do the one with the writing on the side.
Sorry?
You see how you do it with writing on the side?
The writing on the side?
Yeah, right there, the last one on the side.
Like that?
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Cool, right?
Impressive.
And then there should also be,
He's a man of many talents.
We got one band too.
I still don't know the
right?
Oh, whoa. He did something. Ah. Look what he did there.
Here's a neat little thing you can do.
You can engulf them.
Joe, when is this report due?
This is due the day of your presentations, so the Tuesday before final.
So it's Tuesday when we get back.
And is this report full or just results and discussion kind of thing?
No, well, just a discussion.
Just a
graphs.
discussion and graphs. Well, whatever this is.
So you want discussion of this?
Huh?
You want a discussion and then this stuff?
This map and that's it?
And the table with the band links.
Okay.
What? I haven't decided.
It should be what she did, which is pipetting.
Well, no, I'm not gonna do a difficult.
Do a pipetting pack.
No, I hated that question.
Why?
That question was such BS.
Well, you can still do pipette.
Aww.
Because the scales can only measure like so many decimal places, so you can really pretty much only do like 1,000 mil.
Do you like this spec? That'd be awesome.
What?
You what?
Spec.
I hate that thing.
How to read a spec.
Yeah. Super
No,
easy.
that's probably what it's gonna be.
Put it in.
Why would you do
Well, you
that?
already have the
Put it
solution
again.
made and just put it in there.
Aw, but I never did the spec. It was always him doing the spec. I wrote down the information. That's all I did.
Okay.
I can't live with myself.
Okay, any more questions from the mock final? Gloria?
No, something else.
Are, what?
Am I allowed to email you over Thanksgiving?
That's what I asked.
Yes, you're allowed to email me over Thanksgiving break, but I am not required to answer you.
But we're required to do that work, Joe.
Yes.
Because when
If you ask me, okay, how about this? If you email me a question, I will write back to the best of my ability if I feel like it's a question that you do need an answer to.
Oh God.
Okay?
That I do need an
Okay.
answer.
I did receive some emails of this semester which I just ignored.
Yeah. I don't think you ignored me ever. Oh, it's good to know I never asked
A lot
ridiculous
of them
questions.
came from that table back there.
So we used
That
your
table over there.
pictures because nothing showed up. And I guess you guys had in your names.
Who we have in our lane?
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Which ones were which?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5
1, 2,
from
3,
left to
4,
right.
5,
These not.
Those, yeah. a lot
Oh,
of
are you
them.
done explaining things?
So this is
So it starts.
one is
What?